Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of the Two Raccoons in a Trench Coat podcast. I'm your co host for today's episode, Some Guy with a Hat, and we've got an interesting one for you guys today. But to introduce that, let's let our host do that, which we have as our host today.
Hello, welcome. I am some guy with a mic. Good to see you again. This is your first episode. What a doozy you've picked. And strange that you picked this number out of the lot, unless it's the most recent episode, in which case, not a bad place to start. We're going to get right into it today. We're going to be talking today's topic. We have no trivia, but we do have a very important topic for not only the state of film in this country, but the state of film throughout the world today. So we're going to talk today on two major motion pictures that came out recently. We're going to stack them up against each other. We're going to get some thoughts from the film expert I have on staff here. Say hi, film expert.
Hello.
Yeah, that's him. And we are going to talk to our residential financial expert. That's me. About these two things. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. And many of you have already guessed where I'm going with the excitement of this, and that is the box office smash. That is Iron Lung, directed, produced, and starring our main man, Mark Fishbach, better known online as Markiplier. Now, I have went and seen this movie with my lovely fiance, Miss Microphone, and I would say it was great. Honey, what did you think of the movie?
Loved it.
Loved
Wish
it.
we would have seen the first 7 minutes of it.
That is true. We went to go see it at the theaters. It did say, hey, the movie starts at 7, but there's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes of trailers. We're like, all right, great. We'll get there at 7. We'll get our popcorn. We'll go sit down. We got in there about 7:05, 7:06, and the movie had already been going. So because again, because this is going to play into something later, there was nothing else bankrolling this film. I want to make that very clear about this later. But the movie Iron
Mark and his gobs of money.
Yes. So this particular movie, Iron Lung, produced, starring, and directed by Markiplier. For those of you who do not know who Markiplier is, he is not a filmmaker. He is not a director. He is an online entertainment personality. He also owns a couple of different businesses. He's a part of other businesses, one of those being the Cloak clothing brand. If you haven't heard of it, I don't blame you unless you're chronically online like some of us in this room. Now, that being put aside, he is a large YouTuber. He does make good amounts of money. He does live in California. He does own his own home. He does have several vehicles. He does have his own power system. He has his own render farm in his home. Thank you. Let me not understate, this man knows what he's doing, and this man does have means that you and I probably do not. But setting those things aside, let's look at our film expert here. How much do you know about Iron Lung?
I know that it was independently produced by him. I know it takes inspiration from a video game. And that's about it. I mean, I know a little bit more, but I think we're gonna get into that later on. But production side of things, that's as much as I am aware of.
So as you said, we'll go jump off. That is a great point. So Iron Lung was a video game that Markiplier had played previously, really took inspiration from, and decided to make a film adaptation. From the information I've gathered, he did grab the game's creators okay to do this and all the licensing and all that. So everything, again, being very above board, which is something you don't see in Hollywood. So with this movie, so the premise of the movie is you have a prisoner. It's in I guess technically the future. But you have this prisoner, Markiplier, who is blamed for blowing up a human civilization space station. Whether he did or not is ambiguous to us at the beginning of the film. He proclaims innocence, but we do not know. I'm not going to spoil anything in the movie. I'm going to say that now. I'm only going to keep things very vague because there are people who are going to want to go see it. If you're wondering, can I go see it in theaters? The answer is no. It's out of theaters right now, but it is coming to Blu-ray. Mark Fishbach has been in talks on multiple of his different episodes on his YouTube channel and a couple of talk shows he's been on. saying that it's coming to Blu-ray. You can own it very soon, so I don't want to spoil anything for you. But suffice to say, this prisoner is then told, hey, you're in prison for life. We could kill you if we wanted to for the things you've done. But instead, he has to go down to this blood ocean in this tiny, cramped submarine. Think Ocean's Gate. But it was designed by someone who's not stupid. So he has to go down and go take pictures and find evidence, whatever is down in this blood ocean for vague scientific reasons that they don't share with him because he's a prisoner that they're expecting to die. So the whole movie takes place, mind you, in one tiny submarine. This entire film, this massive blockbuster film, primarily stars Markiplier as himself, as the prisoner on this vessel, and it takes place in just that one area. There are some shots you can see outside of the sub, but only through a window, and you can't see much. You can see one or two other people in the background, essentially. And there are some flashbacks throughout the movie where he's like on the space station, but they're not. Again, he doesn't explore a space station. It's basically like a still frame. It's very good green screen. I believe it's a green screen. I don't know much about movies, but it looked good, but it was only there for a couple of seconds. I think outside the film, it has like a 1 minute of runtime outside the entire film that's not inside the submarine.
Wow.
It's masterfully done. He's in this big blood ocean. They can't use regular cameras underwater, so he has to traverse this submarine that has like little legs on the bottom of it around this blood ocean floor, but he can't see. So all he can do is navigate it blindly with little like sensors that tell him when he's too close to something, the lights will start flashing. And he has this big camera that fires X-rays because, again, light doesn't cut through blood, but X-rays will. So there's a big X-ray bar, basically. He has to slap it, take a picture, and it shows him like what he's looking at, and he has to decipher off a grainy black and white screen in front of him. Very interesting, very compelling for the horror element. Now, this is a horror movie, I will warn you. This movie broke the record for the amount of blood in a single film.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Markiplier and his team hold the record for the amount of fake blood in a single film. When I tell you there are gallons and gallons and gallons, it's not it's astronomical. There is something to be said for that alone. And throughout the movie, you're gonna go, this isn't that much blood. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Wait till about Miss Microphone, about how far in the movie do you think we saw all that blood?
Most of it was at the end.
Yeah, I would say the last third of the movie.
Oh God, not even
Last fifth of the movie, you'd say.
You see it
throughout the film,
but most of it's at the very end.
So very end of the film. So if you do not like blood,
close your eyes in the last 10 minutes.
If you do not like blood and do not like gore, you need to stay away from the film. The movie is basically it's a psychological horror, as well as if you have claustrophobia or if you're afraid of like the ocean. Also a great film to really like rile up your nerves and get you off kilter. Fantastic film. I have seen a lot of movies. I think I've seen a lot of movies. Now maybe not as many movies as the co-host for today. But I know a good movie when I see it. I think and I know, and Miss Microphone knows, and some guy with the hat knows when I've seen a good film, because I will not shut up about that film. And co-host,
take Mumphy for existence. You've brought that up on multiple occasions outside of the podcast setting as well. So
I love that film. It's a great film. Mumphy is Yugi Moto, and I'm not elaborating. But yes, this is a film that I'm going to buy on Blu-ray, even though I do not support a lot of things that Hollywood does, and I know that there's definitely a big skeevy company that's getting money off your Blu-rays. I don't care. I want to own that physical media because I want to keep it forever, because Hollywood has already tried to silence this film. And you've heard about this.
Oh, absolutely. That was the other thing that I said that I knew about the film, but that we'd get into it later. But yeah, it's insane. They took it off the charts. It was topping charts. It was number one film in the world, I think. And the next time you look, it's nowhere to be seen. Still in theaters, but nowhere to be seen.
That's correct. They took it. I believe in the U.S. it was the number one film. In America, I do not know about globally. But I know it was on the top. I know it's in the top 5 globally. But going from that, this is a prime example of you do not need Hollywood, and Hollywood is scared of that because they know that because the generations are changing, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing a paradigm shift. The golden age of Hollywood is coming to an end because entertainment, like this podcast, is in your hands now. You do not need a $75 million budget that's going to come into play later. You don't need a $75 million budget to make a good film. We're going to go into the numbers on that. So, some guy with a hat, I want you to guess the budget for this film, and I want you to guess how much this film grossed globally.
So budget I do know is around 30 mil. And which I believe he sourced entirely on his own. Like he funded it himself. And profit, I'm going to say anywhere between 180 and 300 mil. I'm going to say 300 mil. Just why not?
So your numbers are a slightly bit off. The budget, when last reported, was 3 to almost 4 million.
Oh, did I get my decimals mixed up? Okay, whatever.
A little bit. You're very close. And it grossed globally just over $50 million for a film not backed by Hollywood, for a film that does not have much, if any, marketing, very little marketing, domestic or global. This is a sheer example. Now, mind you, that's a net profit for Markiplier, his crew, the Teamsters, the whole 9 yards, of over $45 million.
Mm-hmm.
Made, bank, cash, rolled, money. It is, for an indie film, that's impossible. Those are numbers that shouldn't exist. I'm sitting here as a finance guy telling you this doesn't happen. You know why it doesn't happen? It doesn't happen because by the time you get to this point, you've got tons of higher up execs that change your film. They change the marketing. They slash things. There's no money spent on big name actors because, mind you, the star of this movie is Markiplier. He wanted the movie done. He said, I'm going to do it myself. And a lot of people would go, well, that's arrogance right there. I don't believe it's arrogance in this case. I think Markiplier has the passion for film. He has a passion. He has a whole thing on his podcast about lenses. I think you need to listen. So shout out to Distractable Podcast. Give it a listen. This man loves his lenses. I think some guy at the hat, you get along really well with Mark Fishbach. But as I was saying, you don't see this because there isn't passion left in Hollywood. There's passion here, and that's what's going to sell. That's what's making the money. People who didn't know who Markiplier was heard through word of mouth. Now, mind you, this also made $50 million. It was in theaters for less than 2 weeks.
Oh, really? I thought it, maybe just because there was a lot of like buzz on the internet about it. I thought it was in theaters a bit longer than that, but
most places, some did have longer screens. I believe California, where he lives, did have longer screens in many areas. Out where we live, our geographical location, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Hey, it's longer than Predator Badlands got.
Oh my god, it is. We still haven't got to see that.
Nope.
It'll come out on Blu-ray eventually.
It's out on physical media, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Did it do well? We'll talk about that part later.
Yeah.
We'll get into that too. So again, almost $4 million budget, $50 million in the box office, making number 1 in the United States and top 5 globally.
Yeah, and that all goes back into his pocket.
Correct.
Like, he doesn't have to worry about financiers who made investments. He doesn't have to worry about studio overheads. This is all goes back to the people who made the film, like actually made it. That is fantastic. But it also brings up another counterpoint. Like, everyone thinks, oh, more people should do that then. Yeah, but the barrier to entry is so high. Like, you have to have $3 million in the bank at least for this. And you know how he was able to get away with this? It was primarily one single location. So that's only one set you have to build. You, like, on other films that I've been on, short films, that's also a massive time constraint as well. Like, how long are you going to have the shooting location? When are you going to be able to access the shooting location? He didn't have to worry about that as much, most likely. Like, he definitely picked the film to start with that most suited his abilities. And like you said at the beginning, he knows what he's doing, and it's evident here with how well this film is done.
Exactly. He has a passion for it. And again, I think a lot of what Hollywood's missing and why aren't our movies doing well is they have no passion. They're just looking to make a dollar.
Or 20 million of them.
Or 20 million. Now, I want to compare that. And like, here I am spouting hate on Hollywood for overproduced, over-budgeted, underperforming films. You think I should put my money where my mouth is, as I am the finance guy here?
No, I think you're good.
You're right. I should. So, another movie came out around the same time.
Exactly the same time, I believe.
Yeah, a documentary called Melania. Have you heard of this film?
I have.
Wonderful.
At first, I thought it was a meme. Then I heard someone I know went and saw it. I'm like, oh, so this is a real thing.
So, for those of you who have not seen or even heard of Melania, you've probably heard of it because I'm sure that your sort of members of your family you don't talk to often have posted about it on Facebook, calling it the best movie ever made, and call them out using these numbers right here. So, Melania is a documentary movie. Also, first off, not a great start. Documentaries, historically, are supposed to be interesting, at least somewhere near it. The BBC did a great job making me care about penguins, and I did not care about penguins. So, it follows Melania, who is America's first lady as time of recording, going like through parts of her life, her adventures to the White House, and being first lady, and all of these shenanigans that her husband never got up to, and several things that were redacted from history. Now, I'm going to give you... So, this is a movie, a documentary of America's, the most powerful nation in the world, her first lady. Something that every American TM should be interested in and want to see. I have the numbers in front of me here, some guy at the hat. Give me how much you think the budget was and how much you think it made.
Budget? I'm going to say 25 mil.
Okay.
And I want to say it made around 5 million.
Okay. So, now, you said about 25 mil. I'm going to let you know, that doesn't even cover the marketing.
Jesus Christ.
So, this last reported...
So 75 then?
75 million. $40 million in acquisition. 35 million in marketing. And you said it made about 5 mil?
Yeah.
They did a little better. They made 16.6 million.
Okay. So still a massive flop.
It is currently, at time of recording, the largest loss in film history since, like, I think the 80s. Massive failure. Absolute failure. You want to know why it's a failure?
Because it was made about a topic that most Americans are pretty divided on at the moment. Like, I didn't even know $30 million for marketing. I didn't even
35.
know it existed.
I heard about it only through literally on... So you know when you have a smart TV and you turn it on, it has like advertisements like what's coming to theaters soon sometimes.
No, I turn all those features off if I can, or I just don't buy smart TVs because they're so fucking stupid. Like, no, you're supposed to be smart. Well, you're really slow. You don't do anything I want you to. You always turn on the wrong application. Like, you don't remember that I just had the PS4 plugged in. Why do I have to go down, scroll over, reconnect the PS4 through the destinations whatever tab, and then you don't even load it up? Okay, moving on.
Well, for some of us, most of us that have those advertisements, I saw one time I saw that Melania was coming to theaters. It didn't have a date or anything. It just said it was being made. And then I realized it was out because I went to the movies to see Iron Lung and went, oh, look, that Melania thing's out. And then that was the end of me caring about it.
You
To
know
put
what? I
this-
think I've
Mhm.
cracked. Okay, Fox Mulder here. Look, you know how back during the campaign for this previous election, everyone's like, "Oh, Trump and Melania are gonna get a divorce. Like, you can't see Melania anywhere." Da 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 da. Well,
Mhm.
this is why she was filming her movie.
Honestly, that's very possible.
Yep, I've cracked
My
it.
thing is, how do you how I'm gonna put you in Melania's shoes for a second.
Please don't.
So you're in her tightly bound shoes, and you've just made a movie about your life, the life of some guy with a hat, and your partner's connections bankrolled this. $75 million went into making this film. You got a lot of hand in its direction, in what was said, what was done. It's about you, and it's the biggest cinematography flop in a very, very, very long time. How do you feel?
I don't have any problem with that because what I'd say to the bankroll is like, look, you wouldn't be able to pay people to come watch this movie. If it's about my life, let alone expecting people to pay to see it, buddy. This is just like tax evasion or money laundering right now.
It is funny you say that. There have been several people who have suggested that because this is an artistic project and therefore a lot of it can be, can evade taxes by certain people are getting paid and not paying tax on what they were getting paid. That is a theory that's been rolled around.
Hmm.
I have no idea of its legitimacy. I don't know much about the banking law of the movie world. I am a personal financier, and this isn't personal. This is business. So that aside, hello, cat. Hello, cat. I'm gonna push you down. Haha. Cat on the floor. Yeah, I knocked you down lower than those video ratings. I don't know. I didn't have that prepared.
Ooh, got him.
So while we're here, let's check the reviews, shall we, for both of these films. So we played this before. We're gonna play it again. We have the film Iron Lung here. So we have uh 3 scores. We have the IMDb score, and then Rotten Tomatoes, both critic and it's not called fans. What's it called? The popcorn score.
I'm gonna say IMDb is like an 8.7, and
Mhm.
all of the Rotten Tomatoes, I think they're both at around 90
Gotcha.
for Iron
Gotcha.
Lung.
So IMDb gave it a measly 6.5.
Oh, okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, the critics gave it a 60, and the popcorn meter at 87. So you're very close with the 90.
Hmm.
Now, I want to throw in some comparison to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which IMDb and the critics rated very low, but because it wasn't a film made for critics, it was a film made for the audience that of which it was a demographic for, scored very high. This is one of the times where, and don't get me wrong, now mind you, that popcorn meter of 87% is based off of 2,500 plus reviews. That's a lot of reviews for an indie film.
Mm-hmm.
Versus 42 critics. I personally think that when it comes to movies like this, it's really important to keep in mind that critics are paid to go watch things and they are paid to have an agenda, whereas your fans are not paid to have an agenda. They
Yeah,
are
that's
paid.
why I never pay attention to the critic score.
Only time I will pay attention to a critic score is on something that I know was just made for critics because I'm always curious because there are certain films that they're critic bait, they're Oscar bait.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they are. They are just there to entice, and I like to see critics like overwhelmingly praise it, and then fans are like, it was mid. It was mid at best. Then I care about critic scores. If you are a film critic and you are in the audience, send us an email. Tell us why you're a film critic and what you rated Iron Lung. That's Two Raccoons Podcast at gmail.com. 2 C's, 2 O's, no spaces. Two Raccoons Podcast at gmail.com. Now, let's look over at the other Melania movie. Pull up that tab. All right. So, give me the IMDb score and give me the Rotten Tomato scores.
Okay, IMDb probably 3.7, Rotten Tomato critic probably 37 as well. But then for the popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
my theory is that the majority of people who went to see this
Mm-hmm.
were already like Republicans because this is
Mm-hmm.
a Republican president's wife. So I'm going to
Correct.
say popcorn was 75%.
IMDb gave it a score of 1.4.
That's not great.
Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it 11%.
It's not great either.
Popcorn score, 98.
Well, I was right on that aspect.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this is 54. So more critics reviewed Melania than they did Iron Lung and got a lower score.
Which
And
also probably agenda to bash it.
right. There's agenda for both sides here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it clear on the podcast, we don't take sides. I'm just anti everybody.
Yeah, it's more fun that way. If I can make fun of both, well, I was about to name the candidates, but whatever, doesn't matter.
So if we can get the licensing here for DED and we can play what is the song I really like by them that Anti Everything, we can play that in the background if we can get the licensing for that. Because Melania did not get the licensing for Radiohead. They sued.
Oh.
They sued and they won. Yeah. They didn't ask. They just used their music.
Well, we knew if we asked, they'd say no, so we thought, might as well just do it and pay the fee.
Yeah, so from what I understand, the lawsuit, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from what I had previously read, I don't know if this is the final verdict. I think it might still be ongoing. They did win on the initial. Now, I think instead of a payment, they wanted any future production of the film edited to have their music removed.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. And don't get me wrong, I don't care where you're on the political spectrum. If you take something I make and use it for your own gains, don't even ask me for it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't
screw
want
you,
money.
bud.
I want give it back.
Yeah. I'll also take all your money from any
yes.
previous, like, past
Any
and
royalties
future.
I am now owed.
Yeah.
I also want to point out that I got a 98% with the fans, with only about 1,000 reviews. So again, agendas are there, as they were for Markiplier's movie as well. I don't want to say, well, completely we're non-biased. No, people who went and saw the Markiplier, I would say majority. I would say 90% plus were already fans of Markiplier, and that's why they knew it was coming out in the first place. He had been talking about it for about, was it 3 or 4 years? 3 to 4 years. About making this movie. So yeah. Big there obviously there are biases on both sides. I'm not gonna say one's guilty and one isn't because they both are. Apparently Melania's still in theaters.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go see it because I personally don't feel like wasting my time. It's an hour and 48 minutes long. How long was Iron Lung? I think it was a longer movie, which is another great thing. Yeah, Iron Lung is 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Do you know how long the shoot was for that?
Let's see, Iron Lung shoot time. Markiplier's Iron Lung movie had a 35-day SAG low-budget shoot that took place in the spring of 2023. So 35 days.
For example, a short film that some friends and I shot actually over the weekend. It was planned to be an 11-hour shoot day. It turned out to be like a 13 to 14-hour day. That film is probably going to be around between 5 to 7 minutes.
This to me is a shining example of, while you do need money to get these things started, and you do need to have knowledge of a thing. I think this is a shining example that just because the industry you want to break into is absolutely crowded with a million ideas from a billion people, you can still make something like this happen. And again, you may need the capital is going to be most people's, I think, thing is going to be a paywall. But aside from money aside, which is no small object for most of us, myself included, this is proof that it can be done. And I think what this is hopefully going to do is Markiplier has that he's making another film.
Well, yeah, he can afford to at this point.
And not just because he made a lot of money doing this, but because he had so much fun doing it. His wife also helped him on the film. His dogs helped him on the film. I don't know what the project is going to be. I don't know if he's actually announced what it's going to be yet. If it's going to be an original IP or if he's taking another video game. I don't know if Iron Lung's going to have a sequel, maybe. Without spoiling, the movie could have a sequel, I think. It'd be or a prequel, actually. It'd also be not terrible. There's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of things you're left, not really loose ends, but things you're left to speculate on, and you can kind of chew, because they don't make a difference one way or the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is nice. A lot like Lost. But it is an example that anyone out there who is trying to make it big, maybe you're trying to become a YouTuber, a filmmaker, a streamer, a let's play gamer, you want to make video games, you want to make film, you want to write books, take Iron Lung and Markiplier's example, and I want you to print out a poster of Markiplier. I want you to frame it. I want you to get an 8x10 of his face, and I want you to put it on your wall, and every day I want you to wake up, look at Markiplier, and go, if that guy can do it, I can do it. Because that is exactly what he said. He said, if he can do it, anybody can do it. And I want everyone to know that is 100% true. I am going to tell you, it's possible, but do limit your expectations for yourself. And not because you're not good at something, but because life is going to kick you a lot more than you expect. And especially in the creative industry and the creative space, as you well know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, my tirade kind of ending there. What are some of your thoughts on this whole topic?
I think it is incredible for independent filmmakers that this happened. The fact that it was booted off of the charts is very telling. And I think while it sucks for Mark, I think it just sends a message that more independent filmmakers need to do these sorts of things. Again, finding the budget for things is incredibly difficult, but if you can find enough people to donate time in kind for shoots, if you can make something work, just try it. If enough people do this, I think Hollywood's and the studios, all of them, they're gonna have to acknowledge that they are not the only ones who can make films anymore. And this whole independent filmmaking thing kind of stopped towards the end of the 70s, early 80s. And now I'm hoping that we're going to get back into it. There's such a massive barrier to entry now. But also, if you want to just make short clips, you can do everything on your phone. Audio might not be the greatest, but you're going to get decent picture quality if you want to start doing some sketches or short films. Like you said, Mark said that it was a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. It's exhausting, but it is so fun. There's so many aspects of the film process, the editing process, things to look out for, things to avoid, things to do that I could get into. But for
I want
those
to
of
touch back.
you, I mean, who are interested in making films, you probably already know everything that I would have said. And if you're not, I mean, this doesn't really apply to you anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to reiterate that I think it's a win that this movie did so well. But it is begging the question of what comes next.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch back when you said about independent filmmakers making Hollywood take a step back and go, we're not the only ones on the playground anymore. A lot of people are going to say, well, you know, they've got all the power, they have all the prestige, and that's true. But I want to take your attention to the indie gaming space for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that not even 5 years ago, AAA, we're talking EA, Microsoft, we're talking Ubisoft, and a lot of other subsidiaries, they ruled the gaming space. Indie titles were not something you 5, 10 years ago, certainly not, that you just readily had available to you. But I'm looking at my Steam's most played right now, and some of my top ones are Pal World, Peak, Satisfactory, Repo, Zero Sievert, Card Shop Simulator, and Stardew Valley. All those I just named are either independently or small team indie games that do not have major developing backgrounds.
And didn't Expedition 33 win? And didn't that have a smaller studio as well?
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Or were they
Claire
just a new
Obscura.
studio made up
Let
of
me take a look.
other?
Claire Obscura Expedition 33. Who did produce that game?
Because I know it was a
Um,
bunch of like ex Ubisoft
I do
developers,
believe it
maybe,
was ex Ubisoft.
but I don't know if this was like a smaller
Let's
studio or just a
take a
new.
quick peek at it here. Developer was Sandfall Interactive, published by Kepler Interactive. Both names I do not know well.
Yeah.
Looks like Sandfall, all they have is Expedition 33.
Yeah, so case in point.
Yeah, and that won Game of the Year plus a good number of other things. On Steam alone, it won Best Soundtrack, which is a no-brainer. I have not played Expedition 33. I do plan on getting it next time it goes on sale because I am a boy. I don't buy games at full price if I don't have to.
Yeah, it swept house. Like it won a
It
ton of the awards.
it really did. It's one of those things where, again, no matter what creative space you are in, I know if you're looking to make a podcast, you look at huge successes like the Joe Rogan podcast or Alex Jones, or you look at, uh, Otaku's Anonymous or Two Raccoons in a Trenchcoat podcast. You see those big name players making millions of dollars a month on their content. And you think, I can't do that. You can do that.
We're
Same
making
thing.
money?
No, no, we don't have sponsors or deal. No, we're doing it pro bono. We
Oh, is
could
that
be
why I've
making
been locked
money.
out of the email for the past 12 weeks?
Yeah, that's a Google issue. I've been talking with the. I went to that party with the CEO of Google. I talked to the I emailed Google about it, and
Mhm.
they're stumped.
No, I bet
I
they
think
are.
it's probably Microsoft. Honestly, they're doing a lot of weird stuff with Google right now. Google took "Do No Evil" out of their mission statement,
They
so
took the no out of it.
yeah, do evil.
Yep.
Um, and the same thing with any creator space. Everybody started somewhere. So no matter who you look up to, who you idolize, it's doable. You may not be at, and again, same thing with things like if you want to get good at art. I'm terrible at art. I want to be good at it. I never will be. My fiance is a fantastic artist. But again, if all you can do is draw a happy little smiley face with crayons, you're already on your way, and put it on the fridge. Even if your mom's not proud, you should be.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I'm terrible at art, so that's why I just pay your fiance to do it for me.
exactly. And you know what? Never be afraid to hire an indie artist. Never be afraid to send that work request because they're starving. They need your work. They need your money. I pulled a muscle and like below my tongue. That hurt.
By talking?
Actually, when you were talking, I went and I leaned forward to grab a pixie stick, and that
Of
made
course.
my jaw pop.
Ooh, nice.
I don't like underneath my tongue though on the right hand side. Like nothing hurts now, but like that was severely uncomfortable.
Mm. Maybe have Dr.
Um,
Jack take a look at it after the
I
podcast.
will. Yeah. Your moniker is now Doctor, no longer a Captain. Doctor Captain Jack.
Or Captain Doctor.
Captain Dr. Jack. He's a Captain Doctor. But yeah. So I don't have a whole lot for this particular episode. It's mostly been a rant. Um, I'm gonna use this time to go ahead and plug. Did you ever post anything? I haven't looked at I actually haven't looked at our YouTube in a hot minute because for some reason I'm locked out of the YouTube. I
I
heard about
know, like it's such a
monetization.
weird thing. Like I reached out to YouTube and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. I'm like, yeah, I know, but make it look. Yeah, they're YouTube sucks. Well, we just got demonetized and
We were
age
monetized.
restricted.
We were monetized.
No. Yeah, no, I think I know what you're talking about. I haven't posted the stream yet. I'm still editing that
I was
ready.
gonna say there's a lot going on. There's a lot to edit in that video. There's a lot.
Oh
There's a
my
lot.
God. I'm not even okay. Behind the scenes footage, since we're talking about independent productions,
Mhm.
like I am almost through watching all of it. Actually, I haven't even gotten to zombies yet. I'm in the middle of the final mission.
Mhm.
But after that, I need to rewatch it and take notes of when each of us have either gone down or both of us died. Then I need to add overlays as like an visual indicator. And then I have more of the fun editing to do. It's gonna take a second, but it's fun. Like that's another thing. Editing is also really fun, and I almost want to do an entire podcast. Like I thought we might get into it a little bit more in this one about
Mhm.
like the filmmaking process.
Mhm.
So if that's something you guys are interested in hearing about with like experiences and behind the scenes stories about some of the stuff that I've worked on and some guy with a mic has worked on, let us
Hello.
know either in the comments or shoot us an email. Either that works. But any final thoughts from you?
Um, no, I think I got to yell enough this episode. I feel like in the Survivor one, the previous episode, I didn't know enough to be super like useful, and I'm
Yeah,
glad that
well, you
here
were
I could be
malnourished, dehydrated, you lost a couple challenges, we were gonna eat you. So, I mean, it's understandable.
fair enough. Um, but yeah, I think I'm quite happy with where we are on this episode. How do you feel about this episode?
Yeah, I'm good. I liked it. Looking forward to talking about or fitting filmmaking stuff in whenever it is applicable.
We'll definitely will have a filmmaking special. Um, as again, I think it'll be. I'm clearing out my personal inbox for my stream, and oh my god, Instagram sends you messages about everything. Good lord. But yeah, so you can of course. I do have a little bit of exciting news.
Yeah, share.
I'm in talks with an artist. It is the artist for Azure Drake, which is the company I'm currently CFO of, Chief Financial Officer. Can't give you any hints on any projects coming out. I can tell you that we have an artist who is phenomenal. Um, I'm not sure if the artists themselves, if that's still a hidden part of the project, so I'm not going to shout them out here. If I do get permission later on, I might say, you'll get to know anyway. Eventually, I'm having that artist work on a commission for me for my streams. As you know, I have my little PNG,
Yeah.
little red hair guy. I'm having a mock up done. We're gonna do a couple different things. I should have it hopefully by by April. They are quite busy working for the company that I'm one of the heads of. So we keep them quite busy. But I'm gonna have that going, and I'm gonna start streaming on a more regular basis, simply because I'm finding that now that winter is ending, my depression is going away, and I have the the mental fortitude to go on and play games and be talkative. But yeah, that's my news. I'm going to be streaming with the new PNG tuber. That's going to be mine, all mine. I don't have to share it. It's mine. Any news on your front? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I've also gotten a bit into streaming. First, where can they find your stream, Some Guy with a Mic?
So I am on twitch.tv. Let me get my make sure I'm actually saying it correctly. So I am, go to my own channel here. You can find me at www.twitch.tv/someguywithamic. That's MIC. I also own Some Guy with a Microphone, but it was too much of a mouthful, so I don't use that one anymore. So it's twitch.tv/someguywithamic. I currently have 12 followers at time of recording. 12. I'm in the double digits. Success is mine.
Yeah.
And where can they find you for your streaming content?
I stream over at someguy_with_a_hat. No set schedules yet, but we have done a co-stream, and I also streamed The Forest a week or two ago.
I'm so sad I missed that.
You didn't miss much. It was mostly me just trying to figure out how the freaking hotbar worked. Because I ended up wasting a whole ton of equipment. But yeah, we had a person out in the chat. I think we had a good time. So looking forward to doing a bit more of that and other games as well. Probably some Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one. But the biggest thing is getting Steam games to work in windowed mode. That's once that's solved, we're going to be
Have you tried borderless window mode?
I think that's what we did. Well, that's what I did with the World at War stream, but then you also have to have another application that does it. It's so bizarre, but
it's a bit wonky.
Yeah. But when we get more into consistently streaming, we will let you guys know when we each do that. I also, like I mentioned, I worked on a short film over the weekend. I don't know where he's going to be posting it, but once the film is complete, I will let you guys know. It was really fun shoot, really funny film. Looking forward for people to get the chance to watch it.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. But that's all I've got.
All right. Well, in that case, I think we will bring this nearly hour episode of the Two Raccoons and Trenchcoat podcast to a close. Again, if you'd like to suggest topics for future episodes, if you'd like to buy ad space, if you'd like to sponsor us, if you would like to maybe be a guest on our show, reach out to us at tworaccoonspodcast@gmail.com. That's 2 C's, 2 O's, no spaces. tworaccoonspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi to us. And as always, don't forget to eat out of that trash can. Bye-bye.
And if you'd like to sponsor our next short film or regular length film, you can drop us a small loan of $3 million. That would be much appreciated. See y'all later.